Hi everybody, welcome to episode 5 of series 2. I'm Ryan and these tutorials are brought to you with the help of Block Australia and Dance Central here in Sydney. In today's episode we're going to be looking at rhythm turns. We're going to be looking at two types of turn, or two variations on a turn, but there are loads of possibilities out there and we will talk about some of them at the end of the episode as well. As always, don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel and to check me out on social media. I've got lots of cool stuff going on at the moment, so that's the best way for you to keep up to date. Also, keep the video responses coming in, they're always great to see. And I've also had some really nice comments lately on some of the videos, and I'm just really glad that you guys are finding these tutorials helpful. That's the reason I'm doing them. I just want to share with you guys. So the comments are really appreciated, and I thank you very much. Let's get started. Let's take a look at some turns. Okay, so before we jump into the exercise we're going to do today, just want to go through a couple of basics, a couple of foundations for our turn. Some of you guys will already be familiar with this, but it's always good to just have a recap and make sure we're on the same page. We're going to look at two variations on the turn. We're going to have a 7-beat and an 8-beat turn. Our 7-beat is going to go sharp, full, step, heel, 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 heel. Our 8-beat is going to go sharp, full, change, heel, heel. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Whichever turn we're on, the bit that actually turns us around is the same either way. It's just how we get in there. So if I'm going on my 7-beat turn, sharp, full, step, I want to get to like the back corner of my box. If I'm standing in a box, I'm aiming for my right leg to get to that back corner, and I want to have this wind up, so I don't want to step to that corner and turn my whole body with it. So if I go and do that bit of turn too early, the rest of the turn is not going to work. I want to make sure I get wound up, so I've got my legs crossed, my body still facing the front, so that then I can pivot, heel, 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 heel. That way I should end up nice and clean. If I turn in too early, if I do shuffle step and end up facing the back, shuffle step, then the rest of the turn doesn't work as well. I'm going to end up too close. So get yourself wound up so that you can unravel again. So the 7-beat is going to go shuffle step, heel, 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 heel. When we do the one with the ball change or the step, step getting in, that's going to come forwards a little bit more. We're going to have sharp, full, step, step. So actually I'm still aiming for the back corner of my box, but I've turned my box, I'm facing this way. That's now my back corner, so I can unravel again. So when you've got the two steps going in, you can let that travel forwards a little bit more. Doesn't have to be loads, but that's going to be the flow of the step. That's going to get you around and come out of it nicely. Just that on the other side, so I'm on my right, that'll be your left. Have sharp, full, step, heel, 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 heel. Or if you're springing in, have sharp, full, step, heel, heel, heel. We'll talk some more about the logistics and things we can do to help us out in that turn. But that's the basics of each turn. Cool, let's learn the exercise. Okay, so this exercise comes in two sections and it comes on either side. So we'll just start with the first half and we'll break that down and we'll do that facing the other way. And then we'll look at the second half and then we'll put it all together. So to begin with, we're going to go sharp, full, step, sharp, full, step, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that's our shuffle step turn. And I'm going to just be calling these turns the step turn or the ball change turn. That's how we're going to differentiate between the two. So we're going to have two shuffle steps, then we're going to have a step turn. That's going to go and a 1, and a 2, and a 3, and a 4. So again, and a 1, and a 2, and a 3, and a 4. And a 1, and a 2, and a 3, and a 4. After that, just step, heel, step. And a 1. So that's going to go and a 1, and a 2, and a 3, and a 4, and a 1. Then we're going to go into our ball change turn. So we've just done and a 1, carry on, and a 2, and a 3, E. So that turn is going to finish on E. We've just done and a 1, and a 2, and a 3, E. To finish off, ball heel again, and then just a stomp. Bring it back up off the floor, so we've got the other leg free, and that can come on the other side. So, that second half will go and a 1, and a 2, and a 3, E, and a 4. Leaving the other leg free. So that's the first side of the first half. It goes and a 1, and a 2, and a 3, and a 4. And a 1, and a 2, and a 3, E, and a 4. And a 1, and a 2, and a 3, E, and a 4. Cool, let's just look at that on the other side. So now it's going to be on your left, which is my right. And a 1, and a 2, and a 3, and a 4. And a 1, and a 2, and a 3, E, and a 4. And a 1, and a 2, and a 3, E, and a 4. Good, let's do that again. And a 1, and a 2, and a 3, and a 4. And a 1, and a 2, and a 3, E, and a 4. And a 1, and a 2, and a 3, E, and a 4. Good. So, as you can see, or hopefully you can see, I'm spotting as I turn. So if you're unfamiliar with spotting, as I'm starting to do my turn, I'm trying to leave my head facing front. I'm getting it back around as quickly as I can. So I've always got my focus point forwards. We could spot any direction. Your spot point can change within turns, but for now, keep it dead ahead. If you're working with mirrors, just find yourself, find your own eyes in the mirror every time. It's going to stop you getting dizzy, and it's going to keep you focused to the front. The other thing I'm doing is I'm trying to use my upper body to help me with my turn. So I'm just letting my arms work freely. I'm not having set arms when I turn, it's in arm positions, but I am actively using my arms. They're helping me balance. Also, once I'm wound up, like if I use almost my elbow, just that little bit, that's helping me get around on my turn. If you can lock that in at slow speeds, it's really going to help you at fast speeds. So just be aware of spotting and what your upper body's doing. If you've just got dead weight up top, that's going to make our turn much harder. Okay, let's do first side into second side. Goes and a 1, and a 2, and a 3, and a 4. And a 1, and a 2, and a 3, and a 4. And a 1, and a 2, and a 3, and a 4. Other side, and a 2, and a 3, and a 4. And a 1, and a 2, and a 3, and a 4. Good. Okay. I'm trying to not travel too much because if I travel too much, I'm going to come out of shot for you guys. But feel free to let this exercise travel forwards a little bit. Your step turn, that should stay on the spot. But your ball change turn, that may travel a little bit. Don't feel like you have to travel, but if you are traveling, don't feel like you have to fight it. That's something that you can start to control later on, but to begin with, we just want to get comfortable in these turns. So we're going to turn it around, and we're going to do that one 4 times. Okay, so that's the first half of the exercise learned. Now let's take a look at the second half. When we put these both together, we will just do each side once, but for practice purposes, we're going to do each side twice. This one starts the same, but then what we're going to do is we're going to go for continuous turns rather than having a transition step between the turns. So what we're going to have is our step turn, straight into a ball change turn, into another step turn, and they're just going to keep going. So what we're going to get is this. We have the same beginning, and a 1, and a 2, and a 3, and a 4, straight in. So we've just finished 4, E, and a 1, E, and a 2, E, and a 3, E, and a 4. So it's just going to keep going. Step turn, into a ball change turn, into another step turn. So you'll have and a 1, and a 2, and a 3, and a 4, and a 1, and a 2, and a 3, and a 4, E, and a 1, E, and a 2, E, and a 3, E, and a 4. We're just adding one step on the end. That will get us on to the other side. Let's look at that starting with the right leg again. And a 1, a 2, and a 3, and a 4, and a 1, and a 2, and a 3, and a 4, and a 2, and a 3. Cool. Then we'll be on the other leg. Let's take a look at that other side. It goes and a 1, and a 2, and a 3, and a 4, and a 1, and a 2. Second side, one more time. And a 1, a 2, and a 3, and a 4. And a 1, and a 2, and a 3, E, and a 4, E, and a 1, E, and a 2, and a 3, E, and a 4. Cool, alright. First side, straight into second side. So you'll finish 3, E, and a step, and a 1. It's getting on the other side. Go. And a 1, and a 2, and a 3, and a 1, and a 2, and a 3, and a 4, and a 1, and a 2, and a 3, and a 4, and a 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. Cool. Let's turn that around. Let's do it 4 times. As I said before, I'm going to try not to travel too much. Don't worry if yours is traveling a bit more than me. Cool. Turn it around 4 times. Okay, so we've learned both halves of the exercise, or both sections. Now what we want to do is just put them together. So each section we're going to do once on each side, and each time the section will start with a shuffle step on the right leg. So the first section was and a 1, and a 2, and a 3, and a 4, and a 1, and a 2, and a 3, and a 4. Second section is the one we were just doing before, with our continuous turns. So and a 1, and a 2, and a 3, E, and a 4, and a 1, E, and a 2, and a 3, E, and a 4. So each section once on each side, nice and steady. Goes and a 1, and a 2, and a 3, and a 4, and a 1. 3. Cool. So what we're going to do, we're going to turn that around, and we're going to do that at a slow tempo, and we're going to do that at a faster tempo as well. Remember your spotting, remember to get your wind up, so you get that cross working, whether it's here, or whether it's the ball change turn. If you're going for that ball change turn, if you're my front, my second leg is always still trying to head to that front. Even though my body's over here, there's my leg, here's my body, so I've got my wind up, I've got my twist. And that's going to help me come out of my turn nice and straight and carry on into another turn or into another step. Yeah, keep those two things working for you, should be okay, and just be aware of what the upper body's doing. Use it to help keep your balance and to keep those turns moving. So yeah, let's turn it around and let's do it at 2 tempos. Here we go. Okay, so that's pretty much it for today. I hope you found this useful for working on your turns, whether you're learning them for the first time or whether you're just practicing them. As we said before, there are lots of options with our turns. So pretty much any way that we can find ourselves in this cross position, so whether it's kind of the step turn feel or the ball change feel, however we can get to that position, we can then just go into that turn. We can use those 4 beats, pivot around and do the turn. So we can pretty much do anything before that and anything after it. Some kind of common things or things which are easy to start adding on. So say something after the shuffle and before the step. So shuffle, heel step to get into the turn. That could be shuffle, heel step. That could be a hop, shuffle, step. That hop can turn into a pullback. You could put the heel on the end of the pullback. And then, any elevated step you've got, you can stick in there. You don't have to do a shuffle to get in, you can do something else. Put a riff there. So many options. Any way that you can just find yourself into that turn, you can get that flow going, is all good. Same with the ball change turns. You could add the pullback in there. Again, we could use something else to get in. We could take the riff and the pullback. Let's get us into our turn. Experiment. Yeah, find a way in and then find a way out as well. So however you're coming out of that turn, do you want to throw a riff on the end? You go into a flat, you can try and go into something else elevated. There's so many options. Play around with them and find the ones that work really well for you. It's great to have some of this stuff in your pocket, so that you know you can just jump into that turn, you can flow back out of it, and you can go into something else. Great for your choreography and great for your improv as well. Also play around with your note value, so it doesn't have to be on an 8th or a 16th note. You can do your turns in triplets. 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4, for example. So play around with that as well. You can put pauses in there, you can syncopate them. Once you've got that basic framework, it's up to you. Play around. That's about it for today. I hope you've enjoyed today. I hope you found it useful. And I will see you next time. Thank you very much.